Welcome back to Dark Corners Streaming. Not to be confused with Island of Lost Souls, 1921's The Island of the Lost does come from the same source material, a very loose German silent adaptation of H.G. Wells' The Island of Doctor Moreau. This was once thought to be lost, and I've seen various lengths quoted for it, but this is the only version I'm aware of, so it may still be missing footage. Worse, the only English language version we could find streaming on YouTube has been colorized by some vandal, so what we're using is an artful amalgam to show it at its best advantage. Which I think is worth doing, even though this is, to be honest, terrible. We follow Ted and Robert on a quest to an island to find Robert's fiancée, Jane, who went missing some years ago. Robert's purpose in this is to get in before any other rescuers so he can break the news that he's engaged to someone else, Evelyn. Truly the worst motivation for rescue ever, but the film does lean into broad comedy. While their servant immediately hooks up with a native girl, Ted and Robert meet Professor McClelland, who has imprisoned Jane with the help of his drug-addled assistant, Fung Lu. They rescue Jane, who now becomes the centre of a love triangle as, stranded on the island, Robert has a change of heart. Interspersed into this, we get hints of Professor McClelland's experiments. As it's probably the only reason anyone would watch this film, it's a shame that we get so brief a glimpse of the diversity of McClelland's creatures. Though the ape-man gets a reasonable amount of screen time as he takes his turn to kidnap Jane, while the men are busy fighting over her. Jane is a key element to McClelland's final experiment, and the film starts to seem like a precursor to the mad science movies of the 1950s. Positives? It's not the earliest version of Dr. Moreau, there's a French one from 1913, but it's interesting when a story has been told so many times. There are a couple of nice images, notably Fung Lu's Opium Dream, created by cameraman Willy Hameister, who also shot The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which raises another good point, that this is a great reminder that German cinema of the 1920s was not all expressionist. In fact, the vast majority wasn't. And it's fascinating to see street scenes of 1920s Germany, rather than artistic cutouts or forced perspective models, which are great of course, but this has a terrific sense of being there that would have been meaningless at the time. But I suppose the most important thing about The Island of the Lost is that it exists, it survives, where so many films have not. Interesting more than entertaining, I would watch it in German over the colorized version. You gain in the image more than you lose in the titles. Thanks for watching. Versions of Dr. Moreau vary wildly, from Charles Laughton to Marlon Brando. Favourite adaptations of this or other Wells stories? Let us know in the comments below.